today we are going to learn autofill and formula. Okay, so I've already gotten information here, and I've created a new sheet and name it relative addressing. Okay, before you forget, okay, the last tutorials that we did, we learned how to create series. If you've forgotten, we said we highlight the two. Let me zoom it so that you can see it all. Okay, so you go to the right bottom corner of the square. There's a small box there, and you pull it down to the number you would want it to be, and you leave the mouse. Okay, so similarly you can also come to a cell here, go to the right bottom corner of the cell. Instead of left clicking to leave, you rather right click downwards. So option pops up before you fill. So we say fill series, and it's going to continue from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can say copy cell, and it's going to copy the cell that we highlighted. So we are filling series. So similarly, this is how it looks like. Okay, good. So we would want to say that cell C should be equal to this cell B4 plus 5. Okay, good. And let's press enter, and the answer is 6. When we come to the right bottom corner of the cell and we drag it down to 11 relative to cell B14, okay, let's see what will happen here. Good. Let me tell you what have happened. You realize that cell C4 is equal to B4 plus 5. Okay, when we come here, see the formula. When you click on the formula bar, you realize that it have picked the continual number B5 instead of B4. It have picked B5. So B5 plus 5, and it's 2. And when you come here, you realize that it have picked B6 plus 5. When we come here, we click on the formula bar, you realize that I've picked B7 plus 5. So the end, when we get to the end, we realize that I've picked B14 plus 5. Good. This situation is called relatively addressing. So we realize that we created one formula, and with that formula we are able to get all these answers as if we created each one separately. So that's what the relative addressing does. So it's just add up to the B5 column by adding the rows to it, and giving the answers by adding 5 to it. Good. So I have a data here also, and this time around we are going to relative address it at the row column, not the column reference, at the row reference. Okay, so this time around, let's see, this cell, which is H7, should be equal to this cell plus this cell plus this cell. Good. And I press enter, and you realize that it have given me the answer. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. So when I move to the row direction, good. When I move to the row direction, let's see what have happened. It have auto-filled, or in this word we say it have relatively addressed the column reference and the row reference. So relatively addresses each cell based on the information on each column reference. It have relatively creates the answer for each cell based on the information at the column reference. These are the column reference. Good. So let's see what happened here. When you get to the formula bar, Now it have highlighted what it added. So one formula and get the entire formula following the same formula. Okay, so one unique feature about Excel. Okay, so we are saying that let's say this cell is equal to this plus this times 4. Okay, so in our mind or in our calculation we are expecting to get 12. Okay, we are saying that 2 plus 1 times 4 should give us 12. But let's see the answer that will give us. You can click the correct sign at or you can click enter, and now see, we are disappointed. We've gotten 6 instead of 12. And let's say let me move it relatively so that it picks the figures relatively. Good. And we see that we've gotten answers that you are not expecting to get. Let me teach you something here. In school you realize that we learned something called bid mass. Some say bid mass, some say board mass, where here is the bracket, indices, division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. Okay, we learned bid mass. Okay, and we said bid mass, the B is brackets, I is indices, D is division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. This rule that we learned about mass is applied here with Excel. So we said that this cell should be equal to this plus this by the red column multiplied by the 4 column, right? And see the answer it gives us. It gives us 6 instead of 12. Board mass, we said that we first look for the bracket first, the indices second, the division, multiplication before addition and subtraction. Good. So division and subtraction is worked on first before the addition and subtraction is worked on. So that is what Excel behaves. So Excel works on the division, multiplication first before addition and subtraction. So you realize that instead of adding up straight and multiplying the results to the H6 here, multiplying the result to the H6 here, it rather multiplied the H6 here by the 1, 4 by the 1, and added it to the 2. So you can see here, yes, it's multiplied 4 by the 1 and added it to the 2, because Bidman says that multiplication comes before what? Addition. So that's how Excel behave. Good. But you see, in case you would still want to do that, they should add to this so that the result would give us this, and move to the after the equal to sign. Okay, so after the equal to sign you can create a bracket. That's what we learned. You create a bracket, okay, and you move the cursor to the H5 sign and create what? A bracket, and we press enter. And this time around we've gotten our 12, okay, because the bracket was added first before it was multiplied by the H6. So now when we relatively address it, it's going to pick a different formula. It's going to pick this plus this times this, 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 this plus, so that we'll get a very nice rules or formula. We get a very nice formula depending on how we want it. Otherwise it's going to work with this. Let me create a border before we learn how to create a border. It's going to use this rules to solve the mathematical problem. So that's all you need to know about relative addressing. Next lesson, in our next lesson, we are going to learn about resolving relatively addressing issues. Stay tuned.